folks, and welcome. It's almost a beautiful day today. I say almost because we're still hanging around about 0 degrees. A little bit uncomfortable to do work, on vehicles and whatnot, but it's getting better. Definitely improvements, and you can see the sky is doing its best. Boxxy. Well, folks, I'm going to do a voiceover here because the wind was just absolutely insane today when I was doing this video recording. It was really bouncing a truck around on the roadway. It was just so powerful. So this will sound a little bit better for you. And a quick look at the outside of the truck. Very good shape, and you'll notice that there is no driver's door. It's a solid surface. Now there is a window, and it's a power operated window up and down, and that's for driver safety when they were operating as a courier truck, so they couldn't hop out into traffic. But overall, the outside exterior skin is in amazing shape. Paint is good. There's just some very minor little issues that can be seen. The tires are all really good. They'll be good at least for another year or more. And the propane tank is on this side. And that's the propane fill connection just below that side turn signal. And there's the propane tank underneath. It's really large. It cost me about $175 Canadian to fill it up from near empty. And that's a vent fan you'll see above the driver's position on the side. And here's the front end with huge front windows. From inside, driving down the road, you can absolutely see everything. That won't be an issue. The big front door, or at least the only door to get in, the man door on the passenger side, is great. You can walk straight in. You don't have to duck your head. One step up and you're on the main floor. And on the right side as well of the vehicle, it's absolutely fine. Just a few little traffic wounds, as I call them. And it does have a roll-up door in the back, which I'm probably going to make into a deck. So I'll have to put some stability aluminum piping or something on the back to solid it up, cut it down, get it off the rails, and make that into a deck. And on the inside, there's, like I say, a ton of room to get in and out. Even if you are carrying things, you don't really have much of a concern. It's an easy step up, as you can see, about maybe 14 inches on your first step and about 12 inches on the next one. And this deck, the landing deck I call it, you can see it's been well used. Well, it has been for 15 years. And there just may be a little of attention there to fix that up. But it's an aluminum base, as you can see, because there's a wear mark right there. And that'll be easy to get underneath and straighten it up and re-support it. But overall, it's in really good shape in here. There's just a couple of little areas that might need fixing up and concern. And here's a jump seat for any one of you who want to come along for a ride someday. And of course, it's very comfortable. Not really. But anyhow, there's a seat belt and you're good to go. So I can take a passenger with me. And here's your footrest if you're a passenger. And lots of space there to stay warm in the fan. And in the summertime, these can get a bit warm, and then there's a bit of engine running noise on the highway from that. On this dash side, I think I'm going to build somewhat of a table along here, out maybe 1.5 feet or so, and maybe that width of this silver dash ridge right here, which is a good piece of aluminum to attach things. And I'd like to build a cat rack or cat table for either my 2 cats, Maggie or Oliver, or any other cats, I suppose, to relax while the truck is driving. The vehicle itself is going to need a good cleanup. As you can see, there's, well, you know what? It's been a commercial vehicle. It's been a money maker, a business vehicle. So there's little need to keep it sparkling clean. but I'm at least going to have to do a good try at that, which will start in the next week or so. And then there's a bit of items up here which can be cleaned up on the, I call it the visor shelf somewhat. And the ceiling on the inside, that's pretty much direct to outside as well as this wall. We can insulate these a bit and cover them with something, you know, nice, a little bit better than the metal that it is. There's an exhaust fan above the driver's side window right here, and it still works. So does this fan and this fan, they still work. We have a backup camera here, which is on constantly when the vehicle is running, nice and safe. And the visor works, and I have a sun bar running across the whole top of the windshield. So one thing I did add right here, you'll see this display, and it's for an OBD2 connection, and it gives me vehicle RPM, speed, temperatures, oil pressures, whatnot. So it's just easy to see quickly when you're driving down the road. Other than that, you know what? It has 15 years of use, but it's in pretty good shape. There is somewhat of a carpeting cover on some of the walls here. I'll be insulating, cleaning, and maybe checking out behind that. The sliding door also has that carpeting cover, and there's the same just behind the driver's head and as well on this side. When we get to the back, the floor changes. There's no covering on the back floor. It's just your raw tread plate aluminum, we'll call it. But overall in good shape. There's a couple of areas where it will need to be patched. I've noticed back here there's a bit of an opening to the outside world. That can be easily patched. And maybe just a tad here. And towards the back, near the roll-up door, there's also a couple of openings that will be patched up. Here's the inside of the roll-up door, which I'm going to have to do some cleaning with. And once I put the beams or the angle iron on the outside on both sides to make it flat to go down to a deck, then we can remove these rails at the top. That will free up the ceiling. And I think I can still use the spring mechanism at the top to help lower and raise the door. Now, that mechanism is not difficult to work with, but you have to be very careful. Now you'll notice the ceiling of this truck is fiberglass, and it's a see-through type fiberglass, which over the years of service have allowed the operator of the truck to have light in here to see what he's doing with the cargo and whatnot, and that definitely would have helped his daily routine. In my situation, when we go ahead and insulate, the roof rack will be above it, but when we insulate and put the ceiling material, we're going to lose all of this light. So that'll be gone. And I think with my initial plans and build, I'm not going to put windows in this unit to start with. The windows will come later on, perhaps, if I want, but for the initial, I'm going to try and keep it looking very stealthy, very commercial-like. So initially, when you walk through, I think on the left side, your countertops, kitchen countertops, storage below, storage above. As well below here somewhere, I think, near the door, I'm going to have what I'll call a cat rest area. So there'll be a litter box with a constantly, a very small, but a constantly running fan to exhaust any odors outside. A cat eating area separated from the litter next to it, and then storage. Now the cat things are going to have to be probably 3 feet long by maybe 1.5 to 2 feet tall, depending. I'm not sure just yet. So the kitchen area will be on this left side and come back to about the wheel well. Because this side of the vehicle will be the wet side. This is where water storage will be, and the gray tanks, your sink. And I think the shower is going to have to be on this side as well. Again, the actual position of things, I'm not sure just yet. On the right side, as far as I know just now. This will be the heating and fuel side. So underneath we have the propane tank, which is right about here under the floor. Behind here, I'm going to have an outside storage cabinet, workbox underneath the body. That will be where the diesel fuel is. And the diesel heaters will either be here or just back here somewhere. Again, this will be a bit of countertop area here, and then moving into tall storage units of some type. Coming down to about here, a couch or seating sofa will begin and come down to about this area. It'll be approximately 6 feet long, maybe-ish. That will also turn into a bed if needed, which would probably be about double bed size, I'm thinking. There will be some storage underneath in certain areas. There'll be some storage above in cabinets as well. Then moving on into the back area, we will have a dinette. So a table in the middle with chairs or bench seating on both sides. Storage behind on both sides. This dinette will turn into a bed as well, probably about queen bed size if I do it right. Here's the trick. Above this dinette will be a queen bed on some sort of, which I haven't decided yet, some sort of rails or lift which will allow the bed to be lowered into nighttime sleeping position. So this bed will simply go up against the ceiling and down to sleeping position. The bed will always be in its made position, so sheets, blankets, pillows in place. When you're done for the daytime, you just elevate the bed against the ceiling and you can use the dinette with no trouble. When you want to lower the bed, you bring it down to its sleeping position and you can sleep without having to move the table. Or if you have guests, once the bed is down, you can then make up the dinette table into the other queen bed, and now you could sleep 4 people. Ideally, with the sofa, I might be able to sleep 5 or 6 people, who knows. At any rate, those are the initial plans. I also have ideas for a skylight vent idea up here and towards the front. Up in this area, I'll have an exhaust fan, your typical RV or van vent fan above the ceiling here. Lots to do, lots to think about. I'm glad that you folks have stayed with me, and I'm super excited for this project to get going. Please understand it will take some time. I don't think this will be a rush. This is going to be maybe a couple of years from start to finish with this whole deal. I have to go slow because of finances and because of time in making this project work. I'm still working full-time and doing this van on my free time. So it's going to be a fun project. It's going to be interesting to see maybe some of the mistakes I'm definitely going to make. And what I'd like you to do is stay with me. Please touch the like button down the bottom of the screen here. It does not cost you anything. And please stay with me. Check back on some of the other episodes if you haven't seen those. And as well, stay tuned for more episodes coming in the short future. Cleaning Boxxy will be the first big one coming up soon. Hope you'll join me and stay with me. Take care and have a great day. Thanks for being here.